Boooooon Dia from beautiful Madeira. Today, on our second day here, we tackled the amazing Levado do Alecrim trail. Unfortunately, the weather was absolutely not on our side, and honestly, it couldn't have been any worse. Fog, rain, storm winds, proper disgusting weather. But no way were we going to let that stop us. So we geared up and headed out on the 9 kilometers trail anyway. The adventure started at around 1,400 meters altitude, and with only 7 degrees Celsius outside. Bloody freezing. The first 4.5 kilometers were fairly flat and easygoing in terms of elevation, but the trail itself was a completely different story. The path was covered with slippery rocks, muddy sections, and endless tree roots. Because of the heavy rain, every single step felt like a small balancing act, and at times it turned into a proper slippery adventure. On top of that, there were huge puddles everywhere, forcing us to zigzag constantly just to avoid soaking our shoes completely. Sometimes there was simply no way around them, and we had to march straight through the mud and water. But despite the miserable weather, the atmosphere was absolutely unreal. Walking through this mysterious foggy forest felt like stepping into another world. The thick mist hanging between the ancient trees, the sound of rain dripping from every branch, and the silence surrounding the trail created such a magical and almost eerie vibe. It honestly looked like something straight out of a fantasy movie. Even though we were cold, wet, and fighting the weather the entire time, this hike was definitely one of those unforgettable Madeira experiences. The famous levadas of Madeira were already being built and used back in the 17th century. Their purpose was to transport water from the lush, rainy north of the island down to the much drier southern regions, where it was needed to irrigate the fields and support agriculture. It's honestly incredible to see what the engineers and builders achieved hundreds of years ago. These narrow water channels stretch for thousands of kilometers across the island, cutting through steep mountains, dense forests, and even tunnels carved directly into the rock. Standing there in the middle of this dramatic landscape, you can't help but admire the unbelievable craftsmanship, determination, and vision behind these constructions. Absolutely impressive what they managed to accomplish with the tools and technology they had at that time. I really would have loved to show you more of the breathtaking scenery around us, but unfortunately the thick fog had other plans. Most of the time, the views were completely hidden behind a wall of mist, and you could barely see more than a few meters ahead. But luckily, we still got to enjoy the absolute highlight of the hike, the stunning Dona Beja Pool Lagoon and waterfall. Hidden deep inside the misty forest, this place looked absolutely magical. The crystal clear water, the small natural lagoon, and the waterfall surrounded by lush green cliffs created such an unreal atmosphere. Even with the fog and rain, it was honestly breathtaking. Our original plan was actually to cool off here, jump into the water, and maybe even go for a little swim. But with temperatures around 9 degrees Celsius, there was absolutely no chance of that happening. Brave hero moments today. Definitely a hard pass from us. After leaving the waterfall behind, we continued along the PR 6.2 trail back to the junction with the PR 63 route. From there on, it was basically downhill all the way. And honestly, that's where the real challenge began. The already slippery trail had turned into a complete mud and rock slide because of the constant rain. Wet stones, soaked roots, and muddy ground made every single step feel like a careful balancing act. One wrong move, and you could easily end up flat on your back. Going downhill on that soaked terrain was definitely an adventure on its own. At some points, we almost had to hold onto branches and rocks just to keep our footing. But somehow, that rough weather and challenging trail made the whole experience feel even more wild and unforgettable. Cold, wet, muddy, and slightly fighting for survival. But absolutely worth it. Another completely unexpected highlight of the hike was the incredible Lagoa do Vento and its gigantic waterfall. Honestly, I have no idea how high that waterfall actually was, but standing there in front of it felt absolutely breathtaking. The sheer power of the water crashing down the cliffs, combined with the thick mist and the dramatic landscape around us, created a truly unforgettable moment. You could hear the roaring water long before you could even properly see it through the fog, which made the whole experience feel even more epic and surreal. It honestly looked like something straight out of a movie scene, even after hours of rain, mud, cold temperatures, and slippery trails. This was one of those moments where you simply stop, look around, and think, wow, this is why we came to Madeira. The constant rain, the freezing temperatures, and the poor condition of the trail made the whole hike incredibly exhausting. What normally might have been a fairly manageable walk turned into a real physical challenge. Every step demanded concentration because the ground was so wet, muddy, and slippery. The cold wind and non-stop rain slowly drained our energy, and after a while even simple sections of the trail started to feel tough. The final 2 kilometers were absolutely brutal. From there, the trail suddenly turned steep uphill, with almost 300 meters of elevation gain still ahead of us. After already battling through rain, cold temperatures, mud, and slippery terrain for hours, our legs were completely done by that point. Every step uphill felt heavier than the one before, and we really had to dig deep and use the very last bit of energy we had left. We did it, and after that strenuous hike, a little reward. On our way back, we once again enjoyed the incredible scenery around us. Even with the fog and rain, this place felt absolutely special. While driving back to our hotel, through these steep routes and endless elevation gains, I kept imagining how amazing it would be to train here regularly. Madeira truly feels like paradise for hikers and trail runners. After arriving back at the hotel, I realized I was still missing a few elevation meters. So I decided to explore the hotel's beautiful flower garden instead. Definitely a rewarding little cool down after such a brutal hike. The steep trail on the left side? That's tomorrow morning's mission. And with that, I'm signing off for today. Tune in again tomorrow if you want to see the colorful little houses of Santana. And of course, another small hike will be part of the adventure too. For now, I'm going to enjoy my appletini. Bye-bye, take care, and happy trails.